Hi, Grace. Do you want to talk about your project?
Yeah, for the last video, I create a project-based learning, which is called
Project.
robot project. Yeah. So there are 3 lessons. The first lesson is to let students exhibit the rectangle with same perimeter and difference area, and the second lesson is to let students exhibit the rectangle with same area and different perimeter, and the last lesson is to let students to do the projects by themselves.
I saw you even created the rubrics for your project.
Yes.
Looks really good.
Yeah, and I also will show it on my lesson plan.
Yeah, I did see that. So, what's the goal of your project?
The goal is to let students know the rectangle with same perimeter in different area and different areas.
So you're trying to help students understand the parameter and the area, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I did see your first lesson. You did a pretty good using the project, especially the robot project, to motivate students. You know, every student, especially the 3rd graders, they really love making robots. I saw students get excited on your project, which is really good. And you did discuss the strategies and the method together after each activity. This is the part I really like for your first lesson. I see you give students time to discuss, and that's the good part. And in your first lesson, you create lots of fun activities that really engage students to participate. And I think you did a very good job on the engaging and part. And you create this project package, and I really like how you explain this package before you actually handing it to the student, so that make sure student know what to do. That's the part I like for your first lesson. However, on your first lesson, you did there are 2 parts that you. However, in your first lesson, I think there are 2 parts that you may want to pay attention, which is to talk less and give more time for students to think, give them more time to discuss with their peers, so that they can actually communicate, they can actually learn from each other. And another thing that you like to do is to give the student answer directly. So I hope you, instead of give them the answer, give them the time. Give them more time for them to think, give them more time to figure out the answer by themselves, which is actually very important for lesson. So I think we discussed that right after your first lesson. And then the next day you did the second lesson, right?
Yeah.
And your second lesson is focusing on area instead of the parameter. And it's the similar learning concept and similar learning strategies. However, I did see your great improvement. After discussing with you, I did see you make a big difference. You give students more time to think. That's the part I see and I really like. And also, you help students to understand each step. You really take the time to make sure students understand each step before you actually start the activity. That's the great improvement that you make that I really like. And also, there's one thing you did a very good job on your second lesson is you ask a different student to check the answer for each other. So you give students time for them to work with each other. That's another great improvement you did for the second lesson. However, there are some tiny improvement that you can there's still some space that you can improve for your third lesson, which is the first is, let me see, where are they?
The game.
Like when you ask the question, trying to be more clear and more simple. Like the first one you said, you tell them the rectangular is 4. So what is 4? Are you talking about parameter or are you talking about the area? So be more specific is one of your problems you need to pay attention in the second in your next lesson. And also when you design the activity, there's a game you design. I really love this game. You give student a sticker, right?
Yeah.
And every student has one sticker, and you help student understand that each sticker has the same area, which is 1, and also they have the same parameter, which is 4. And you give them the different questions, like for example, the rectangle has an area of 4. You ask the student to work together as a team to figure out how many students they need to group together in order to find the rectangle has an area of 4. And then you stop it. You go to the next activity, area of 6 or 8. But I think if you can have students ask another question, for example, now everyone find out the rectangle that is area 4. Can you figure out the parameter? Because they may create a different rectangle, even they have the same area, but they may have different parameter due to their different shape. If you can ask that one more question, that way you will help students go deeper. They can actually think deeper about the relationship between area and the parameter, which is the main goal of your lesson, right?
Yes.
So besides that, I think you did a pretty good job on those 2 lessons. And again, my key suggestion for your teaching is try to talk less, try to give more time for students to talk, give them more time to think by themselves, and actually have faith in your student. They will be able to figure out the questions, the challenges by themselves. So good luck to your next lesson, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.